Hello, and welcome to another episode of Millenniotic, the podcast, where Jason fixes his shirt right before...
I realized too. Do it again. Fix it up.
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Millenniotic, the podcast, where a couple millennials talk about entertainment, society, and the logistics of life. I am AJ.
I'm Jason, and this is our 14th podcast.
Oh, yeah.
You can be sure to keep up to date with us if you follow us on our social medias like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube. And yeah, listen to us on anywhere that podcast can be found. Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio.
We are everywhere.
We are literally everywhere.
So this week, we want to talk about something pretty fun. And it's something I think a lot of people enjoy in general, and that is memes,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And we got definition, why you can actually use these images and videos, because that's something I was curious about, was why you can use these. So we got information on that, and then some of the best memes of the decade, as I would say the 2010s was the first real decade of memes.
Yes, it was.
Full decade of memes.
Yeah.
So we got that list, and we're going to talk about some of our favorites and least favorite memes. So let's start with the definition.
Okay.
All right, so meme is a word in the dictionary, believe it or not. I don't know when it got put in there. Probably a few years ago.
Probably
at
just
this
a few,
point.
either like a few years ago or like maybe like 2012, around there.
Yeah,
around
something
when the
like
real
that.
boom happened.
So the definition that Merriam-Webster has in their dictionary is an idea, behavior, or style that spreads from person to person within a culture. That's the first one,
Okay.
right? That's the fancy way of saying
Yeah, it's pop
right?
culture.
So the second definition that they give is an amusing item or genre of items that spread widely online, especially through social media.
Okay, yeah,
That is the definition of meme that I know.
Yeah, that's
of.
very proper. That's great.
So you said that was proper.
Yeah.
I think we have an Urban Dictionary definition.
Yeah, I went ahead and just because like on our last episode we decided to pull up from regular dictionary, Urban Dictionary.
I love the Urban Dictionary of woke, by the way.
It was
if you
great.
missed that episode, it was a great episode. We
This
got into
one-
all sorts of stuff.
This one not so much.
Okay,
Okay.
let me
just
hear
because of how sad it is.
Okay.
Meme, the cure of depression.
Oh my god.
That was the top definition.
It's
You know what the next one down was?
Sure.
The real reason why teenagers don't chug a bottle of bleach when they get home from school.
the real reason
it's
why
just-
they. Oh my
It's just
God.
you can tell that this is like written by people on the internet who overhype
Oh my god.
everything, and it's just or overhype like the true, because you know you have those online crusaders who just like back up memes as like this great end all
my
be
God.
all of like society.
They'll go to the grave with
Yes.
some of their memes.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
And there's definitely like a meme that we have on our list that people are going to the grave for.
For sure. Absolutely. There's plenty of memes that I've seen that are just, I just shake my head and I almost like report them because
Yeah.
of just the fact that it's not funny, not interesting, not thought provoking. It's just dumb. Just a stupid waste of my time. And I feel like that I need to report
Yeah, exactly.
these memes.
You really do.
Even though it really doesn't matter because a lot of like the meme pages you see on Facebook and such are just like, they just yoink them from Reddit or something like that.
I love it how
anyway.
it's just like it is like social media that use these things. And there was an interesting point that you kind of like brought up in your first point where you were talking about how it's used within video and everything. But it just seems like memes are so easily accessible. Like you have shows like Family Guy or like Scrubs from back in the day that use all like these pop culture references within their shows from like old TV or old movies that they really enjoy, like that the creators really enjoyed as kids, and they're easily accessible because they're part of our cultural zeitgeist that they can just pull up and use these old jokes and old references. So people who are making YouTube videos, they're turning to memes for their in-jokes, for like their little inserts of their videos. And I find that just an interesting point, your dichotomy between like YouTube and television. So, I don't know. I thought it was interesting that you bring that up.
And for the most part, I think the way that you're talking about how they use memes is they kind of use it as a punchline.
They do.
Right? They use it as their joke.
Yes, they do.
And to me, that's not what comedy is.
And that's what I mean. Family Guy does that too with like everything that they use. It's always this and then clip away to a joke that's either using pop culture or just old references.
Yeah.
And it's not...
The cutaways in Family Guy are...
Exactly. It's lazy writing.
It's very meme.
And that's why most of like these YouTube videos that use memes as their punchlines, it is very lazy.
It seems lazy,
It
right?
catches me off guard, which is what makes me laugh, which is what makes it funny, is because it's comedy that is catching you off guard. You don't expect it when it hits.
Right, and that's a lot of people like that kind of style of entertainment in general.
Yeah.
Whether it's horror, people love the jump scares,
Yes,
right?
they
And
do,
people love the random comedy of just random things happening. So I would agree with that.
Because
point.
when haven't you laughed at like a compilation video of Overwatch where they use the "Why are you running" meme?
Oh my god, that's my favorite.
Like somebody's
for
running
Overwatch.
away from you while you're gunning them
running?
down. Why are you running? You can't say you don't laugh.
I say that in game actually. I say, hey, why is he running?
Yeah, it's not that it's not funny. It's just like
it's a lazy joke.
it's
That's
a lazy
what it really
joke.
is.
But I can't say I don't respect it.
And that's funny you bring that up because I remember watching a video of, I think it was called Kicked in the Nuts, right? Where this dude was running around kicking people in the nuts on
God, that
camera
one's
and
so
saying it
old.
was for a show.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that's
That
where
was
like,
so old.
and that's kind of just like, it takes the whole punked show and like how that works and they kind of meme it into
Exactly,
a
it's
video,
true. It's
right?
true.
So that's a way that you can use memes and not just a picture with top and bottom text. It's an actual video, right? And that's a very common thing nowadays, especially are these short videos of free Shavakadu or whatever, like those kind of things, right?
Yes.
So memes, the history, the origin
Yes, let me hear it.
of meme, right? So it came from a 1976 book called The Selfish Gene by Richard Dawkins,
Okay.
who is actually a
Yeah, I
British
know that name.
scientist.
Yeah, I've heard that name.
Right?
Yes.
So he coined the term and defined it as a unit of cultural transmission. Let me define what he means by that,
yeah.
because there's a much better way to explain it. And that is how ideas replicate, mutate, and evolve. Last episode, I talked about how longer the things exist, the more extreme they're going to become.
Yes.
And memes are not an exception whatsoever. The more and longer the meme exists, the more extreme that the memes and the jokes and how far they try to push the boundaries of what's okay happens.
It's true.
So that, for me, makes total sense. Why do you think we can use these memes? If you think about it, a person takes a picture of a cat and they post it online and then people run with it.
Yep.
Why are they allowed to do that? Why do you think?
Because it's just like the age of freedom of information, I suppose.
Right?
It's just because you have your freedom of speech, you have your own things where you can take an image and kind of warp it and change it, but it's all kind of clouded by like this protection of entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Where you take like a famous painting and you draw a mustache on it. That's defamation right there. That is art that you are messing with. Where now we have memes where you're taking an image of a woman just like sitting on a bench and we're photoshopping her riding a whale.
And
that's
art.
entertainment.
And people are calling that art,
Yeah,
right?
people are calling memes art. Yes.
Yeah.
Which, now that I think about it, is really just kind of like a form of its own. It kind of is its own form of art. Like there's a type of art that existed in World War I that has evolved since then called like Dadaism, which is basically just wild chaos and anarchy. It was like a movement after World War II that was basically saying that we live in a world like this. There is no beautiful art anymore. So it's just all chaos and terrible, like god-awful things. So that's what they turned it into, which is, you could call memes art. You could call it a form of Dadaism if you really want to. But I just find it funny that they call it is protected. It is somehow protected by this cloud of entertainment. This is to entertain people and kind of share with people.
So you're pretty close.
Yes.
So the reason we're actually able to use these memes is copyright law.
Yes.
It's the fair use I guess you could say, excuse for why we're able to use these. Because they post these online, and without them saying you can't use it, people yoink it and use it, right?
Yeah.
And that's what fair use is.
Yeah.
As long as you're not trying to, make people angry or trying to make some money off of them.
Yeah, it's true.
You can't do that. So one way that this actually happens is the Grumpy Cat meme, right? Everyone knows the Grumpy Cat meme. Actually, the cat recently died.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Very sad. But the Grumpy Cat picture was actually taken by a coffee manufacturer, and they produced a line of coffee with the Grumpy Cat face on it and sold it with T-shirts as well.
Yeah.
So this became a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Because the guy who took the picture and the originator of the Grumpy Cat meme was like, hey, I should get some scratch from this. This was why it's so popular, right? So they ended up winning the lawsuit.
Yep.
And they got $710 and $1,001. $710,001 for the damages, I guess you could say. So pretty much the only reason you can use memes is because it's free. As long as you're not trying to make money off of it, and it's unless you can say it's yours, right?
Yep.
You can use it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the guy who invented Rage Comics had a very similar lawsuit with people who, I think it was Hot Topic, was using Rage Comics on T-shirts and selling them.
Yeah,
and
they
stuff
can't
like
do that.
That was definitely in the early days of
unless
memes.
they get a proper writing and stuff like that, and there's a royalty thing set up. You can't do that.
Well, that's the thing. With memes, it's very hard, or at least back in the day, it was very hard to kind of copyright those things because it would kind of just evolved into their own things.
Right.
Yeah.
Copyrights are usually good for was it 75 years or something like that? So if you're able to copyright the image, then you're pretty safe.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of getting that copyright before someone else decides that they're going to claim it for themselves.
you
Copyright nowadays is a huge thing online, especially with YouTube. And when it comes to using music in a video, as soon as you upload a video to YouTube and it has more than 15 seconds of a copyrighted song in it, it'll automatically demonetize your video.
Yep. Which in most cases I've actually heard that that's honestly a fake thing that most people kind of just invent to be if I use 15 seconds, it'll be fine. You can pretty much be sued for any amount of
amount of time.
Any amount of music within probably 4 chords. Or
as long as the song is noticeable, really.
Most movie reviewers and everything on YouTube, they are only allowed to review or use footage from movies and stuff like that, so long as it's transformative enough that they're not watching the movie. Or
right.
people
they have to have their own original commentary.
They have to have their own
it.
original commentary.
Yeah.
They have to have a specific amount of time that is talking head or commentary outside of just showing people the movie or describing the movie in order for them to be able to monetize that video.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that recently with just gaming clips, compilations, daily gaming clip compilations.
Yes.
Where for the most part, the content creators, they're fine with it because it gives them free exposure on a platform that they're not necessarily prevalent on, right?
Yep.
So if you stream on Twitch and you make a good play and it gets picked up by, one of these YouTubers, you're getting free exposure.
You are.
But YouTube thinks that you're stealing their property.
They do, yes.
So there was this whole thing about how you need to have a certain time in the video of original content, then you can show it, or that you need to have your own original commentary over it. So a lot of these channels had to mess with a bunch of things, and then YouTube eventually were okay, you can do this kind of format or this kind of format, and then it got more set in stone. But this is an example of just recently as last year that how these copyrights are evolving
to
because there's just so much content out there. It's a matter of what's going to be picked up by the masses that actually is going to have this problem. So that's where memes come from, why you can use memes, right? So I don't think Richard Dawkins thought, I don't think Dick Dawkins, I'm going to call him Dick Dawkins because that's a great name. I don't think Dick Dawkins decided that he was going to create this word that would almost be transformative for a generation.
Yeah.
Right? Because the millennials and the Zoomers are all about the memes.
Yes, they are.
Right?
Yes.
You know what I use Facebook for?
What?
is memes.
It's perusing memes.
I pretty much use it for just memes.
Facebook started as just like this way for you to be able to share with your friends or share your lives. Like just basically be able to have your picture frames on your wall be able to be seen by all of your friends instead of having to come to your house.
Exactly, which is perfectly okay in my opinion.
Which now it's just evolved into memes. It's meme sharing.
Oh my god, it really is. Yeah. And these people who call themselves like the meme lords or whatever you want to call them, they think that they rule online because they're making all of these memes. Mm-hmm. In reality, I hate like 90% of memes nowadays. I really do.
I hated Rage Comics because that's what it turned into. It turned into people going on Reddit and making their own relatable Rage Comics for other people to read and give them thumbs up.
Yeah, like, it's just a cheap way to get approval online.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like to call yourself a meme lord, it's just like, you're just looking for approval.
So let's talk about some of these memes.
Sure.
We just wrapped up a decade.
Yes,
from 2010 to 2019, just so everybody knows, 2020 is the start of a new decade. It's not the end of the previous decade. Mm-hmm. 2010 through 2019, we mentioned earlier, was really the rise of how popular social media is, and then how each social media platform kind of transformed into their own identity, right?
True.
Because they're all kind of created, and they wanted to see how the masses would use it based on the limitations they got, right? So Facebook, with the ability to share pictures so easily, they really became the meme platform, mainstream meme platform. I would say Reddit and 4chan, or maybe more memes.
In a lot of my old research, they mentioned like Facebook and a little MMO game that was an online like browser MMO called Gaia that originated kind of a lot of memes, but Facebook is definitely what made it explode.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say, at least in popular culture. Reddit is like the underground. Reddit and 4chan, that's like the deep underbelly of where it was born and rised from like burning ashes.
That's the magma under the volcano that is Facebook.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
So when something blows up, it's the lava coming out of the top of the volcano.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we got the top 10 memes of the last decade.
Yes, we did.
Right? Yeah. And this is from knowyourmeme.com.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's a survey.
Yeah.
So take this with a grain of salt, of course. Mm-hmm. Form your own opinion. Mm-hmm. Everybody can have their own opinion on memes for sure.
Yeah, same with knowyourmeme.com. They can have their own opinion.
This survey had like 55,000 votes. So it's a pretty substantial amount of people voting on this kind of stuff. They had like a top 50. We're going to talk about just the top 10 that they had.
Yes.
And I am confused by some of these. And I'm hoping you understand some of these.
Well, I mean, I got a feeling that like Zoomers probably had a good thumbs up on this one.
Maybe, yeah.
That's why you might be
Zoomers,
confused.
dude.
I'm just saying.
So we're gonna start. We'll go 10 to 1.
Shoot.
All right. So number 10, the blinking white guy meme. This is a good one.
That one's a classic.
This is a classic one that has evolved.
It reemerged. It really did.
It's evolved, reemerged, and I don't mind this meme.
Yeah.
I think this meme is fine.
Yeah.
Because everybody's done that. Like, it's pretty much a double take, right?
Really
That's
is.
what it is. It's the double take.
It is
meme.
the double take. Yes.
So this peaked in 2017, and I would say it's still going pretty strong.
It still goes very strong.
Number 9.
Yes.
We'll go to number 9 now. Harambe.
Harambe is my fave. Rest in peace.
I do not like the Harambe meme.
Dude,
they went way too far with it.
See, that's why Harambe is so great.
But I guess that's why people liked it,
It's
right?
the definition of a meme that was taken way too far.
Right.
Because I remember being in high school and like the day after and hearing about all the news about this child that got dragged, and then people talking about the mother, like the neglectful mother that let her child go into that pit. And it's just this gorilla, things got out of hand and the gorilla had to be put down because that gorilla could have done some serious harm. And then it just evolved. People took to the fact that they were just so angry and so upset that this monkey had to die. And then it just went even crazier to like make him like this Christ figure.
There was like a song that was made by some of these YouTubers about it, and they like point to Harambe in the sky, and he has like an angel halo around him. Yeah, and you're like, dude, come on.
Yes.
Number 8.
Yes,
it is Hide the Pain Herald.
Hide the Pain Herald.
So this is the Armenian old white guy who has like the really awkward smile, and he's doing.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I
so
got
his
you.
name is
Yes.
that.
You know what's funny? I found out where his origin is. He's on like YMCA pictures.
Is he really?
Like that old
He's a
white-
model
Yeah,
for
he is.
stock photos.
I saw him.
Yeah.
I saw his picture at like while I was at the gym at like the Y. I was just like, oh my
Wait
god,
a minute.
it's the meme.
So, yeah, it's
like,
just
it's that stock photo.
it's a model for stock photos.
Yes.
And his stock photos were,
He just had such a creepy smile.
there's something about him. It wasn't it didn't seem natural,
No, it didn't.
right? It seemed forced.
But that's what's funny about all stock photo memes is because of how forced and unnatural they are.
and there's a few on this
Yeah,
list.
it's like taking a picture of like a robot pretending to be human, and that's why it makes it so funny.
Right, exactly.
Like that's just what it is. It's fake emotions, and you just insert those fake emotions into everyday situations.
Number 7, and I had to explain this one, I think, to the friends because you guys didn't understand it.
Yeah, let me hear.
And it's the Ricardo Milos, the Ricardo Flick guy.
That was the thing. I saw it, but
So if you haven't heard the song, I would recommend you listen to the song and then you'll understand. Watch the music video. You'll shake your head and be like, okay, that's what that is. That's all you need to know about it.
I just feel like it's Rico Suave reincarnated from
Pretty
the 90s.
much.
That's really what
It's just
is.
like this jacked, I believe, Hispanic guy.
Yes, yeah.
And he's dancing. And he does the flick. And I think it's like a shoulder thing, right?
He does the shoulder flip.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that's what it is.
But he's just trying to impress them ladies. That's what I mean by like Rico Suave. Everybody had to make fun of him because he made himself out to be such a ladies' man.
Oh, he had a
But it's just-
bandana on,
yeah,
too.
he
He
had
has
a
a
bandana.
bandana. So that
It's
makes
just so
total
you just like make fun of him as being like, oh, this is the epitome of man.
Right,
I'm straight and I want to bang this man.
Man.
Yes. Man.
That peaked in 2018.
Of course.
So Hide the Pain Herald, we didn't mention, peaked in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a bit older. Classic, though. The next one you've mentioned is the Rage Comics.
Yes.
Rage Comics peaked in 2012. So this is
Not
really
surprised.
the rise, part of the rise
Yes.
of memes and why they're so popular nowadays, for sure. I, for one, saw Rage Comics and kind of like did the squint.
Me too.
I was like, I don't understand. Am I
wasn't the
missing
biggest
the
fan.
joke?
I wasn't the biggest
Where's
fan.
the joke
Yeah.
in this? And I think it's more of just the changing of the face based on the situation that the meme sets up.
Yeah.
So it's a punchline.
Yeah, it is.
So it's a matter of making the rest of the meme proper in order to have it make sense or be funny, I guess you could say.
It was supposed to be like this universal, different still images used to be able to tell a relatable story to people.
Right.
But I wasn't. It's just all of these different, like, because they had the Jackie Chan, like, or
Yeah.
the Spider-Man, like, pervy face from Spider-Man 3. And it's just you're just inserting, you're just clip arting. That's all this is. This is Microsoft Word clip art to make your own little comic.
Yeah,
And
because
it wasn't that funny to me.
in reality, memes are one-panel comics.
Yeah.
They can be one panel, they can be multiple panels.
Yeah, that's true.
But they're pretty much modern-day internet comics. Number 5, I do not understand this one whatsoever. I don't know if this is a Zoomer thing, but I do not understand this meme.
Hit me with it.
It's called Loss.
Oh, I actually know this one.
Could you enlighten me? I
Okay.
understand that it created a very popular format
Yes.
of meme.
So
I don't
the-
understand it really, though.
The reason why it's such a popular format, so you know webcomics, like you know how webcomics were like a really big thing in like 2009 or 10 with like Penny Arcade stuff. It was basically just like homebrew animators making relatable comics for people. So there was a very famous one called Lost that was just a 4-panel picture, but it was by a guy who was kind of a bit of a scumbag. I forget the actual name of the particular webcomic, but the comic is simply a guy runs into a hospital, talks to a person, has no words. Then the next panel, then the next one is him like looking at the wife dead, like on the table because she got an abortion or something like that, or she had a miscarriage. It's very
Okay.
sad. But the fact of the matter was that the guy who made the webcomic is kind of just like this scummy guy who just is like known for being like not so much like a womanizer, but like that guy who's like a fake feminist, I suppose.
Okay.
Where, you know, he like idolizes women or whatever. But they took that specific comic and just used it as a meme format to make this guy mad, because they said how like that one comic got so many bad reviews.
It's a terrible comic.
Everybody
by the way.
made fun of it because of just like because the thing is, it came out of nowhere, because it's just this webcomic that tells terrible like geek jokes and then has this semi-serious thing about loss. So people made fun of it and people turned it into a meme format. Okay. I'm not the biggest fan of this one, but I understand it.
Okay.
I can understand just like taking like this guy who deserves kind of like a little bit of ridicule and making it this universal meme
and making it a meme. Of course.
Because like they take stuff like lines just to insert. It's more so for people to see the loss or the loss format and be like, that's fucking loss. That's really what the joke is. Like you see a meme and you're like, I don't understand this meme. And then you like look closer and you're like, it's loss.
So pretty much, I think it's what? It's one, and then it's like one with a smaller one.
Yes.
And then two singular ones, and then a one with and then a line or something, right? That's the format?
So that's the format, and that's all it is. So it's whenever you see a meme that you don't quite understand, just take a deeper look. It's probably loss.
Okay.
That's the joke.
That makes a ton of sense, actually, now that you mention it. If it's ridiculing some scumbag, that's memeable.
It is memeable.
So that peaked in 2018. Number 4, this is a pretty funny one. Press F for respects.
Oh, yes.
So this came from Call of Duty Modern... I think it was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
I never knew the origins of this.
So it was, I think, in the campaign, one of your comrades dies and you go to the funeral, and in the funeral on the coffin you press F to pay respects. That was actually the command.
I love it.
So this is a popular one when it comes to
like Twitch
streaming, right? Where people like something happens and people spam F in the chat, right?
Yeah.
And it comes into real life when people say F.
Yeah.
When something happens, F, right?
F.
So I think
I enjoy
it's a pretty
that one.
decent one.
I like that one.
It's a pretty decent one. That peaked in 2014. That's when the game came out. Capital F, by the way. It's always a capital.
It's always capital.
Always capitals. Number 3. This one is kind of wholesome, actually. It's a little wholesome.
Is it just wholesome memes?
It's not.
Okay.
But it's the Robbie Rotten. This is the guy from Lazy Town.
Oh my gosh, Robbie Rotten.
He's the Valiant.
Yes.
He's the villain from...
Yes.
So the reason this meme became popular, actually, is because in 2016, he was actually diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah, it's true.
So in kind of the best way that our generation can support this guy is not donating money for cancer research. It's creating memes.
Yeah.
So we created memes to show our support for this guy who is the main villain in the show Lazy Town that a lot of us grew up on. This peaked in 2016, I believe. It was 2017, it says.
Well, I feel like that's when it peaked, but the thing is, Lazy Town memes, I feel like, always kind of existed, and it wasn't until he was diagnosed with cancer that it really exploded.
Right.
That's when it peaked, as you would say. But I remember, what's it called? Bake a Pretty Cake. That song was a huge meme for a while.
Yep.
His song in that show, We Are Number One, was just already a meme at that time, which is a very ska-forward song, which I find very funny because it's just people getting excited about ska again. That always makes me happy. But I'm stuck in 1998 forever.
I'm down to do a little skanking from time to time.
But it's funny how I do appreciate that you say where it's instead of really paying respects to this person by donating to cancer research and instead just making your own memoriams for him in meme format, where it's just the guy would more so probably appreciate some funding to help others suffering from what he suffered through.
Right. I think he passed in 2018 because 2016 to 2017 the cancer was in remission in 2017 and they came back in 18 and I think he passed later that year. So it's a fairly sad story with this meme. Yep. But these memes are pretty good because he was a pretty silly villain in that show. That show was pretty silly in general. Like the main hero's mustache. Right? That was pretty funny.
It is pretty funny.
I always thought that hero was just a little too old, by the way.
A little bit, especially because he's running around with like a younger girl. It is a little weird.
Little weird.
Little weird.
But that's okay. Number 2, very popular one. It had a lot of controversy because of famous people even using it. Pepe the Frog.
Oh, gosh.
Pepe the Frog.
Yeah, Pepe's a big one.
So Pepe exists still, I would say, in the streaming universe.
Yeah, he does.
As an emote. He was a huge meme in the mid 2010s.
Yeah.
2015 is when he peaked.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of controversy because people said he was racist because of the meme that he would be a part of.
So
I guess.
So the big thing that I found with this particular meme, and I find it funny because yes, it is like used as an emote, because Pepe the Frog as a meme really started as like an emote. It was a webcomic. People used all of his different depictions as emotes, essentially. And it wasn't until about 2015, during Trump's election campaign, he had retweeted an image of Pepe the Frog that was him as Pepe the Frog, and he retweeted that. And then it became like this thing where it's a symbol of the alt-right, means and also now it's a symbol of white supremacy, because white supremacy organizations are now going to use this for as a symbol. And it's kind of a tragedy, because like the guy who these are people who invent these memes, and his name, one sec, I have his name written down, Matt Fury. Like he's just an animator who made Pepe the Frog as a character, and now it's down in the Anti-Defamation League as a hate symbol.
Yeah.
And obviously I wouldn't be too happy about that. That's something I created is now being used as a symbol for this.
It got twisted and turned into this awful thing that it wasn't supposed to be.
And a similar copyright case, he apparently sued in, I think, 2018, the Alex Jones series.
Yeah, okay.
He sued them for copyright usage of Pepe the Frog. Obviously a very alt-right show that he's very upset them using without permission. So he sued them. He unfortunately didn't get a great sum like what was
the
it?
Grumpy Cat
Like
guy
the Grumpy
did.
Cat. No,
Yeah.
he only got $15,000 for a settlement.
That barely probably covered the lawyer's costs. And
Exactly.
all that kind of crap. So
Yeah,
if
especially
anything, that was
that.
kind of a waste of time.
Very big
Very
waste of time.
unfortunate. For me, you just see Pepe the Frog. It's just this animated frog
Who's crying.
He's either crying with his hands out,
Yeah.
or he's just like,
Feels good, man.
yeah, exactly.
Like that's all it is. Like that's all I see.
I don't see racism in this at all.
No.
And until I've started to look up where he originated from and stuff, and how he got turned into this hate symbol.
Yep.
It kind of blew my mind. I was like, dude, it's just a frog. It's just a cartoon frog. Why are we, what?
And that's why you have all these people who are in defense of memes, who are just like, bring Pepe the Frog back, because he is this symbol, this wholesome symbol of just something that was taken and made so wrong.
Right.
But at the same time, it's just, now that it's been used that way, can it ever really be used in the same way again?
It's kind of tarnished.
It's tarnished.
It's kind of tarnished already. I don't think he can make a comeback.
No.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah.
So the number 1
Yes.
voted meme on knowyourmeme.com by 55,000 individuals.
Yes.
Is the Doge meme.
Oh God, really?
The Doge meme.
Why?
Such wow.
Why?
I
Why
do not
is he
like these
number
memes,
one?
by the way.
I never liked
really
him.
don't.
I didn't like him in 2013. I don't like him now.
The only thing that I can imagine about this meme being so popular,
Why didn't SpongeBob get number 1?
dude, SpongeBob is its own animal.
It is.
It really is.
It is.
I figured it would be one of the more popular ones. That was on the list in the 20s or something, and only the mocking SpongeBob one was,
okay.
where you have the uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase,
Yeah.
right? That whole thing.
Pretty much that whole meme is mom yells at you to do something and you mock her about it.
Exactly.
That's exactly what
it
that
is.
meme, and I kind of hated it for
Or
that.
just a power symbol talking to
Down to you, yeah.
Right. It's just that whole dynamic. So that peaked in 2013. I feel like the people who voted on this website missed so many good ones.
So many good ones.
My
they did.
favorites. And I want to hear your favorites too.
Okay.
About what memes that if you see, you'll always stop to look at.
Yeah, it's true.
So let's start with you.
Oh gosh, starting with me? Sure.
Let's go for it.
Let me hit it. Sadly, a couple of them are very much on that list. I have Harambe. That's one of my
Okay.
tops. He'll never die in my eyes.
All right.
He never died.
Okay.
Lizard Mark Zuckerberg was definitely one of my
Mark
favorites.
Zuckerberg.
I could never get enough of it. Basically, just Mark Zuckerberg pretended to be human. Like
I guess that is more the meme.
that's what
right?
I mean. Yeah, like somebody taking a photo of him eating a cheeseburger and just inserting a full like paragraph of him describing his first time eating a cheeseburger and how it's like, oh, this is great for sustenance. This is delicious. It's great. Obviously, it stemmed from something making light of a situation that he should not have been made light of, and that's Facebook selling out information that they used.
I think this meme really became popular when he was in the hearings.
Yeah, because it had already existed before those hearings, but it really went insane with those hearings.
When he had to talk in public, and people were like, "Why is he talking like that?
Why does he talk like that?" And it really is because he's just this monstrous billionaire who is now just so disconnected from society.
It seems
from
like
normal
it, doesn't
society.
it?
And it's just it's funny to watch. It's entertaining to see just like this person who really is kind of just pretending to be human.
Right.
Because he really isn't anymore.
Because at this point he doesn't know how to react in society because he's such a big figure.
Yeah, he is.
Right?
Yeah, it's true.
And like I don't think he might have, but I don't think he anticipated Facebook to blow up and be as popular and be worth as much as he thought it would.
Like, that's the thing. You go from like a normal, well, I mean, he was like an Ivy League student and stuff like that, but you go from like this normal 22-year-old person to now literally like the third, fourth richest person in the world.
Super rich.
Like, holy cow. Like, you can imagine what that could do to somebody's psyche.
And so young.
Yeah.
And becoming that rich so young.
Yep.
How do you deal with being that rich for, at what point is going to be the majority of your life?
Yeah.
You're going to be uber wealthy.
Yep.
And how are you able to deal with being uber wealthy? And he definitely got into some trouble.
Yeah, he did.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, he did.
So what's your next one?
Sad Keanu.
Sad
Keanu Reeves
Keanu,
sitting on a bench
dude.
looking sad. Photoshop next to like Forrest Gump trying to cheer him up. That was always my favorite.
Keanu Reeves memes are pretty
Just
good.
Keanu Reeves memes.
Because he's just he is a wholesome person. He's a good person.
Yep. Another one from mine. This one's kind of an obscure one. It's I had to do it to him. It was like this. It was like this rich white kid like standing like this. He's got sock white tan lines. There's just something about it. Every single time I see him, just photoshopped in random situations. Like a dead, like somebody just like dead next to him, and he's just like, I had to do it to him. Like I will still do this hand gesture whenever I'm just like, I'm dominating you, bro. And it's just like you see the original photo, and you're just like, what did you have to do it to him? Like, it's just a guy standing in the middle of the road from like a Twitter post, and you're like, what is he talking about? What did he have to do? And so it just evolved. It just got great. But yeah, that's and Shrek.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't help it. Shrek. Well, maybe not so much Shrek. I love Smash Mouth. I love anything to do with Smash Mouth memes. And anytime that I see just a shitty rendering of Shrek's animation busting out of that goddamn out of that outhouse, and Smash Mouth is blowing up in the background, it makes me. I just laugh every time. I can't help it.
So I'm gonna talk about why I hate that meme later on, because it kind of goes into a different thing about how memes have evolved and why I do not like a lot of memes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna talk about my favorites now, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So I got 3. First one we're going to talk about are the 60 Spider-Man comic ones.
Okay. Yes.
Where they're pointing at each other.
Yep.
Classic. I love those because you could just take two things that are similar, have them pointing at each other. Classic comedy, right? I don't mind that one. That came out in like 2011.
Yeah, that one's old.
Early meme.
It's real old.
Early meme. Simple though.
Yes.
Simple.
Yep. And at the end of Spider-Verse, when they show him pointing at him, it's just so good.
It's so good. Next one, Grumpy Cat. Love Grumpy Cat memes because I am such a a pessimistic person
That's true.
by nature.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
So my favorite meme of all time is a Grumpy Cat meme. I had fun once, and I hated it. Like that right there, boom,
sums it
nailed
up.
it.
Yeah.
Perfect meme for me.
true.
Love it. That came out 2012. It was actually the meme is I had fun once. It was awful. Last one I got. The distracted boyfriend meme
Yes.
that came out in 2017.
Yeah, it's
I actually
true.
enjoyed
that's
this
a new
one.
meme that has come out that I actually do not hate.
It's a stock photo meme,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And it's because you can use it in a lot of different ways, but the base concept of it is simple. And I appreciate taking something simple and making it great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
By just being simple. So those are my three favorite, I guess you could say. If I see those memes, I'm going to stop and look at them.
Yeah.
I've seen bad versions of all of these, obviously, but in reality, all of these are so simple. I think that's why I like them.
That's why. It's you have these simple memes that in the right hands can be transformed into something absolutely hilarious. Like those people who have the competence to make a good joke.
Right.
Like that's what's great about simple memes is they can be transformed in new and inventive ways.
So let's talk about why
Yes.
we don't like memes and some of our least favorite. Do you want to talk about the least favorite first, and then we can go into why I don't like a lot of memes nowadays?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
All right. So what do you got for some of your least favorite memes that you've come across?
This one is not on like that. Well, this one's on the top of my list at a point in my life that I was so cynical and just hated these kinds of things to happen was the Rebecca Black Friday meme. I was so mad when this meme came out, and I'll tell you why. I was like maybe like 15, 16 or something like that when it came out, and I was just so salty about the fact that this girl became famous and made so much money off of making something terrible. And it goes the same with that Cash Me Outside girl.
Oh my God,
like,
yeah.
just getting notoriety for making something so god-awfully bad. Because I remember seeing the Rebecca Black thing, because I think she came out around the same time as like Gangnam Style and all those other like music memes.
Yeah.
And I just remember seeing it when it only had like 20,000 like views or something. And I was like, I swear to God, if this thing blows up, I'm going to be so mad. And it did.
Boy, did it
and
ever.
it did like the next day. And I was like, stop giving this girl money. Like, this is a rich girl whose dad was able to pay for a studio space and be able to make a music video for her, even though she's terrible at singing. And now she's getting notoriety and getting money for this. And I was just, it made me so mad. Like, it's just filled with rage. I couldn't help myself. But then the Russian dub came out of it, and I couldn't help but laugh. Another terrible one that came out around the same time was planking.
Okay.
This was just like, I feel like I just hate memes when they become trending, I suppose, and that's kind of just like a shitty thing to say, but it's true. It's when a meme is taken too far, but just it becomes like this pop culture icon that like nobody cares, or like nobody really understands why they're doing it. They just do it. Like it was like planking. It was just this thing where people laid down on like this futon, just planking, and take a picture of me doing it. And it was just so dumb. It's like, why is this a big thing?
It's very dumb.
It was
very dumb. Because
dumb.
it really has no meaning other than the fact that you're just doing something like this in a place you shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only reason I can see people enjoying that.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Very dumb to me. I agree.
It's like, I'm going to break and enter. I'm going to like go off into like this electricity site and plank, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to go plank on the train tracks and get run over.
Oh, yeah.
It was just dumb. It was so dumb. There was also Minion memes for our boomers out there.
The Minions.
Because you gotta love like seeing your mom or your dad post, or your mom or your grandma posts a picture of like a minion, just a picture of a minion with some text. That's just it's just awful.
And you're like, why is that a joke? I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Do you just like it because the minion's kind of cute? Like, what are you doing?
Exactly. It's like, I don't even understand why Minions blew up in the first place, because they were just like this minor character that doesn't even talk in this animation movie.
And then it got its own
And
movie.
it got its own movie because
what is
people thought
happening?
the character. That's the power of good character design, I suppose.
guess, yeah.
That's why Sonic is so goddamn huge. He's just a cool looking character. There's nothing great about him.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy the games. It's just he's just a cool design. And then my last one, Coney 2012, a very unforgotten or a very forgotten meme that I just remember being so goddamn big, just because it was this Ugandan leader that was abducting children to be a part of his army or killing. It's a terrible story, but then taken by these like 3 rich white guys that decide to make it about them, just taking tragedy, making it about them, and funding for it, and then taking those funds and making money off of it. So it's very much like, it's kind of like a copyrighted meme when you think about it. It's these guys taking this thing and making money off of it.
You're going to Coney 2012, dude?
You're going to Coney 2012?
Coney.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
remember one of those white guys just freaking hopped up on that video of one of those guys hopped up on cocaine, like running around the streets naked. And it's just like, yeah, this is what that guy's doing with that money that's supposed to be for those kids.
By the way.
By the way.
I feel like that meme kind of falls into the same vein as like the Area 51 meme.
Yes, very much.
Something like that's a similar one.
Yeah, which I was not a big fan of Area 51 either.
It's stupid.
Because
So dumb.
I understand that it's these people who want to see what the government's doing, take a peek into that government, but when it's nothing but people who are making it into a joke and saying that they're going to Naruto run into Area 51 with their super soakers, it's like, no, stop it. This is dumb.
I guess that's natural selection.
It really is.
I guess it's just natural selection doing its thing. Dude.
would've
That's
been-
kind of just what I thought about it.
It would have been nice if natural selection actually did take its toll and enough people showed up there.
It didn't work, unfortunately.
That Area 51 would actually have to retaliate.
Some of my least favorite, really quick.
Yes.
So I got the Ugandan knuckle memes.
Oh,
Right?
God, no.
Those,
Yeah.
do you know the way?
Do
Right?
you know the way?
So that, I hated those.
Yes.
Absolutely terrible. 2018. Mm-hmm. Another one in 2018. Bowsette. Hated those, by the way.
Yeah.
Terrible meme.
That was bad.
Absolutely destroying a classic video game series. Terrible. Tainting it. Get it away from my Mario.
What was it, rule number 64? Anything that
34 or
exists-
something?
Rule 34, yes.
Yeah.
Rule 34, anything that exists can be sexualized.
Exactly.
That's just what they did.
That's exactly why I don't like that meme.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Last one. One of your favorites. Shrek. Any Shrek meme. Get out of here.
I love
Get
them.
out of here. Reported and deported.
You can
Get
fight
out
me.
of here with your Shrek
You
memes.
can find me on my Shrek memes, dude. I love them.
Let me tell you why I don't like Shrek memes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Shrek memes because a lot of Shrek memes
Mm-hmm.
that I find are what somebody on the internet comment etiquette, I believe is his name,
Okay,
Eric
yes.
or something.
Yes.
He calls deep fried memes. So these are the memes. I guess you could say they're also dank. Or is it no the other word
Yeah, exactly.
for it?
Yeah.
Honestly, both terrible ways to describe memes.
Yeah, it's true.
But these are the memes that you take into Photoshop and you mess with like the eyes, you get the glowing eyes or whatever, or you
yes.
get like the really grainy picture
Yeah.
overlay filter on it.
Yep.
Any of those, terrible. Why do people enjoy these memes? Why do people do this?
So the thing is it's more of a commentary. I looked it up. Deep fried memes, it's more of a commentary on the fact that a meme has been taken, which is your favorite thing, which is the fact that it's been taken so many times and made worsened. So they're basically taking a meme and throwing it into a grinder. Like they're deep frying it. That's like where that term comes from. They're overly frying this meme, like they're kicking it to death. Like they're kicking a dead horse. That's what it is. So they're taking an old meme and literally oversaturating it and stuff like that because they're like, this has been sent to Reddit, this has been sent to Twitter, this has been sent to Facebook so many times that it's so skewed that it's not what it was originally.
Right, and it's kind of lost its lust, right?
Yes, exactly.
So it's a way to refresh
Yes.
the meme, so to speak.
It's their way, which it doesn't work.
Come up with original content, please.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'd much rather figure out another original content meme
Yep.
than take an old meme and deep fry
Yeah.
it.
Like I appreciate the commentary, but the fact of the matter is that you're pumping out a bunch of them. Now it's not funny anymore.
Yeah.
Like if you just did it once, like took Doge, deep fried him once, and that's it, that's your commentary, just saying that these memes are being reused over and over again, then you're done. But the fact that you keep coming out with more of them, it's not funny. Find new stuff.
For one, it's one reason I started to really dislike memes a lot recently is because there's so much content out there. But for some reason, we're just so nostalgic about random stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and memes is a good example of being overly nostalgic about something that you don't need to bring back up.
No.
Right?
No.
Like, a lot of these memes can die. It's fine. I can't stand, like, constant reposting, constant re-editing, and all of this kind of stuff to try to get approval online because you're looking for some sort of satisfaction.
Yeah.
And whether that's people just clicking a like button for whatever meme page you happen to be a mod on or whatever, and all this kind of stuff.
Or as Urban Dictionary would say, I'm trying to cure my depression.
Right. And, like, I don't understand that, in my opinion.
No.
I feel like that's a Zoomer thing.
It is, yeah.
I feel like it's very much a Zoomer thing because I don't feel that when I look at a meme, I'm like, you know what? I'm happy now.
I'm happy now, yeah.
It fixed all my problems.
Yeah, no.
No. That's so dumb to me. It's so lazy.
Yeah, it is.
And I hope that's not where the generations to come fall into.
Because it's kind of like what they say about scrolling through your phone. It raises your dopamine levels. It's a temporary fix, but you're not actually curing your depression. It's not going away. It's never going to go away.
Pretty much for me, as of recently, a lot of the meme, I guess you could say, quality has gone down drastically.
Yes.
Since, the Grumpy Cat, the Bad Luck Brians, these classic memes that
Spider-Man.
you needed to create your comedy within it using a simple format.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you're seeing, like, I saw this deep fried meme the other day where it was a cat walking with, like, the whatever, how like this has become a hate symbol now.
Put that down.
Right?
Exactly.
And he's like walking with those on his like feet or whatever.
God,
like, those are terrible.
It's so bad.
Like, stop it, please.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not that the old classic memes aren't still kind of emerging through things, but I mean, you have the boy staring at the other girl with the girlfriend. That one's still funny, but it's funny because of those old cases. But those are becoming rarer and rarer. You got them rare memes, them top tier memes that are just disappearing.
Pretty much, you're right, because for some reason we decide that quantity is better than quality nowadays.
Yes, we do.
So I see a lot of memes where I just shake my head and I have to hide the posts. I honestly don't even know why I use Facebook anymore.
No.
I honestly have no idea why I liked all of these and follow all of these meme pages. They're just terrible.
They're all so bad.
All of these are just terrible.
Yeah.
I'd rather just go to like r/funny
Sure.
and just
Yeah, I'll go to the source. I'll go to Reddit.
yeah. Honestly, just go to Reddit.
Just go to Reddit for your memes. It's way better.
So, do you think the next decade is going to be better? Do you think we're going to turn a corner and be like, you know what, maybe we do need to make memes better? Or do you think we're just going to go down a path
I kind of hope that
return?
I kind of hope that we just think to ourselves, we should probably just put memes to rest for a while. We don't need them anymore.
I think we need to take a break from
I think we honestly just need to take a break from memes because I'm already getting sick of people turning to now like TV shows, Netflix and stuff like that for like new content, new memes, Witcher memes,
yes,
Mandalorian memes, Baby Yoda memes. It's just you're taking movies now, like you're just taking anything and turning it into a meme. Just stop it. We don't need any more memes. I'm done with it.
And they're, for the most part, they're not funny.
No, they're not.
And all you're trying to do is just create content.
Like that's what I mean. You're going like everybody's turning into Family Guy. Just taking anything and turning it into content, like taking any little old reference, stuffing it in their pocket and then sharing it on Facebook. That's all it is.
The oversaturation, I think, is the biggest issue in all of this, is the fact that there's just so many nowadays. You just can't hide from them.
No, you can't.
So that's the meme episode. Next week, we're going to turn to something a little bit more real and something that I've had to experience a couple times now. And that is scams.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about how scams and frauds are very prominent nowadays, and how they are pretty sneaky, but they're also pretty dumb.
Yeah,
these criminals are pretty dumb.
I know. I was complaining to my Nigerian prince husband on Facebook the other day about this. I got scammed, and it was just,
really?
it was awful.
I talked to mine on LinkedIn, actually.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't have a profile pic, but he tells me that he's a very handsome man.
Yeah, exactly. He tells me he loves me every night.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to talk about the most common ways they try to scam you, and I want to share. I got 2 stories. I got 2 different experiences with scammers.
Yeah, I got it. Yep.
And how the one most recently really, really irked me. But I'm also going to dissect the scam itself.
Fantastic.
And tell you guys pretty much the red flags to look out.
Yeah.
So until then, let's get this bread.
Acquire that grain.
Till this week.
And have a great week.